30 seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. Game on.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a special of the Paintball Lounge, where we have Drew. I don't know how to say your last name, bud. So if I say it wrong, Schwandt.
Schwandt.
Schwandt. Okay, it's Drew Schwandt, who is the founder of the Extreme Bucks and No Snowflake Paintball. Welcome to the show, man.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, I mean, this has been something I've been wanting to do with you for a while. It's just timing and scheduling. I mean, I know you live in Canada, right?
Yeah, we're in different time zones, which doesn't help either.
That too. And there's always, there's a lot of stuff going on. So let's get started with how long you've been playing paintball, to be exact.
I started when I was about 10 or 11, so it's been 18 years maybe.
Dang. And how did
18,
you
19
start?
years. Just as a kid, I went and picked up a GTI Piranha from a place called Flag Swipe in London, Ontario. I got like a beginner package set up. I went to the speedball field all the time. And then when I got really into it, my parents started, when we would take our vacations to Florida, they would just start dropping me off at the fields to go get experience and play with, some pretty intense players down there.
Right. And like, so the Piranha was your first gun that you grabbed?
Yeah,
That
the
was literally your first
GTI
marker?
Piranha. Yeah.
God dang, I feel old. Man, not too long ago, actually, I was working at Pelican Paintball, and my boss Ryan, to shout out to him because he makes great. His shop is amazing. We found Piranha. Like I wrapped my hands on a Piranha. I'm like, dang, this is what it was back then. Like shit.
They can shoot a little bit. I mean, it wasn't anything fancy. I get smoked by people with pump markers, but it was what it was.
But you got to think about back then. We did not have regulations. We were just doing like 15 balls per second.
Yeah, man. I remember at one of the fields I was playing at Orlando Paintball, and there was this older guy. He had to be plus 50, and he had this A5 that just ripped. I hated playing against him because this guy had to be shooting like 15 plus.
Now that was before. I think that was before when they start regulating, saying that hey, you cannot go like ridiculously fast on the A5s like as
Yeah,
much. Now you only
the
can do
time of
like,
the Timmies and the Angels and stuff like that.
oh, don't get me started with an Angels. I mean, I think it was in Mississippi that it was actually at Broxville in Mississippi, which is now the only place you could play paintball over there, called Paintball Republic. I think it was a couple years ago. A kid had Angel 1, and he was rocking it. I hearing it, and it was in good condition. I'm like, holy shit! An Angel 1 in good condition, ripping it. Fuck,
Yeah,
that is like national treasure.
yeah.
Well,
We were just having a conversation about that today, Craig Hones and I. He was this guy's a big fan of Bob Long's. He's got a reptile. He's looking to get another one. So when we were bringing up the Intimidator and the Angels, he said he wasn't a fan of the Angels, but he's pretty big on the Bob Longs.
not a lot of people are a fan of the Angel. In my book, I think the Angel was like it was good, and then Angels were good, but they were like, they were good, but liability,
It'll be cool the day I get to put my hands on one. I don't even know if I've ever seen one with my eyes, honestly.
They're pretty around. I think there's some places actually sells used angels. If I'm not mistaken, I think I saw some a couple weeks ago on like a used paintball website. I think it was Mason PB or can't remember.
Oh yeah, I keep an eye on Mason's PB shop.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, they have great shit. They have really great shit.
Yeah.
So as it was saying, so you started in like about 18 years ago, and like was it a birthday party or just a family vacation?
No, I was at this fair in London called the Western Fair, and Sergeant Splatters was there, and they were handing out like these cards to it was like discounted admission and paint. So I got it, and I just kept bugging my mom and dad, hey, can we go play paintball? Can I go play paintball? Can I go play paintball? And it was no, 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 fine. Yeah.
Um,
So that's how I got into it, was just that. But I also started, before I ever touched the field, I did play a lot of Greg Hastings tournament paintball on the PlayStation 2, and that just made me want to play even more. I love the whole structure of that game, how you start off with just bare equipment. You got
mhm.
a couple guys with not that much skill. You win a couple tournaments, you upgrade your equipment, you get some better players, and you keep moving on. That's more or less the story of Extreme Bucks and how we got here today.
Wow. So the Extreme Bucks was basically starting with Greg Hastings.
I'm just saying that the way that the game, you develop in the game is the same way that, our team developed in real life.
Oh, okay, I like that. That's
Yeah, we started off as a pretty small like rec ball team. It was called Night Children Paintball originally. And we were rocking A5s, and Buddy had an MRX, and somebody else had a 98 custom, and then all of a sudden, one guy gets I got an X 2.0 now. So then the next guy's got to step it up. And we kept building, and evolution came in, and some of the names that we were going with didn't work. Some of the players didn't work, and so just fall of uh, 2022, it was October, right after our event that we played there. That would have been Pumpkin King at Georgina Paintball in Pefferlaw, Ontario. We played that, and then the few guys I had, we left, and we said, "Yo, it's time to rebuild."
mhm.
And this guy Ryan Musselman, he started playing with me when he was 15 years old. He's now 20. We've been playing together for 5 years. Him and I just went, yeah, let's rebuild. We're gonna restart this team. So we came up with the name Extreme Bucks. Spelt without an E, with a Z on the end.
Right.
And
I like the color scheme though. I like that's color scheme y'all got. It's like a greenish color scheme. I like that. That looks dope. I'm not gonna lie. That looks really dope.
so we worked with Intensity Customs to make our jersey, and what we told them is we want something that's kind of flashy, but we don't want it to stand out because we do find ourselves playing in the bush sometimes.
Right. Because
So
y'all more like a woods ball team.
kind of woods ball, yeah. We play big games, so I don't actually find us playing in the bush too much. We did have one bush big game earlier this year, but we play like our home field. Adrenaline Paintball does have a little bit of bush, but it's mostly like open, different kind of terrain. You got mounds, you got a town, you got a castle, you got some trenches.
Mhm.
So we play all sorts of different fields. I mean, we were playing at PRZ a lot last year. Have you ever heard of PRZ paintball?
No, but I think isn't that in Canada by any chance?
Yeah, this was at an old like they called it an institute for the mentally retarded, is what it was back when it was that 1979 or something like that. And then it closed down, it was abandoned, and this is a big compound with multiple buildings, 3-story buildings, 2-story buildings,
Oh
warehouse,
my.
gymnasium, like huge place. All the field is in place. So we play at places like that, but that field is unfortunately closed now, so our home field's Adrenaline. We play big games, but a lot of our guys are former OPL, former NXL, or just rec ball guys that go hard.
Okay. I mean, that's the thing about that's what I wanted to put you on the show because, you know, here at the Paintball Lounge, you know, all of our behind the markers interviews we've done was, you know, people who were playing speedball and playing, you know, PSP back in the day, NPPL or now NXL. And I would like to show people like the other side of paintball, not just the speedball persona, but as a woodsball persona, like the scenarios and the adrenaline rush of waking up at what 8 o'clock in the morning, going to
earlier,
or like 6 o'clock in the morning, like going to your
yeah,
commander and whoever's leading the team, like say, hey, what's the strategy?
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you got the chance to come on here so we can show people that hey, there's more things to paintball than just, you know, guys playing speedball. There's a news.
Yeah, the games that we play are really fantastic. So this is something we're trying to do as well. For our next game, which is Global 2, it's a 3-game series. All the points add up, and then at the end of the 3-game series, one of the 3 teams is victorious. So it's 3 teams on the field, all against each other at once. We're trying to get a videographer who's in college right now for videography and photography, and we're trying to get him out to the field. And we are sponsored by Lex Graphics. He designed our logo and such. He's also a really good video editor, so we're trying to get some really good footage and have it professionally edited and uploaded so we can start exposing people to the intensity of these big games.
Yes, because there's big games all around. Like, I think it was I subscribed to a guy named was it Barker or Baker? Name guy Baker. He plays like big games all in Europe, like Sweden and Germany, and no one knows about these big games, and they're so much fun. And
Yeah,
like big games, like big scenarios and everything. Yeah, they take a lot of paint. It depends on what you're shooting and how much you what's the word upgrade your marker, because I know
yeah.
some people had upgrades their markers to like a machine gun firing.
Yeah, there's some cool markers you see come out. I mean, there's this guy Sasquatch here in Ontario, and this guy, I don't know how he did it, but he assembled 2 A5s on a crank.
On a
And so,
crank?
yeah, on a crank. So he just cranks it and it just
Gatling gun.
Yes. Yeah,
I
you
love
do
it.
see stuff like that. You see the use of first strikes in some of these big games too. I don't really mess around with those. I'm not very knowledgeable on them, in all honesty. But I like playing open class games that's just round ball only. That's
Yeah.
global. So you'll see people like there's a guy on my team who pulls out the die dam, or then there's myself who will rock a Lux, and we got a lot of Planet Eclipse guys. But you know, you do get to see some of the cool markers come out, or riot shields. You know, the riot shield pistol setup going.
What? Damn. I haven't seen someone doing a riot shield get up since what was it? Invasion of Normandy, when they have those riot shields and they're just going like hiding all that 1,000 paintballs are coming off that boat.
Oh, they're pretty standard at big games here. You don't want to be caught without one normally, because just about every team you're going to play against is going to bring out riot shields. It's nice too when these big games integrate the use of rocket launchers and stuff. You'll see a lot of smoke grenades. You got the small ones, the medium ones, and then you got these big canisters that look like a giant firework. That's, you know, and they just pump out the smoke. It's pretty surreal when you're in like final battle or something and everybody's all out firing at each other and there's just smoke everywhere. You look up at the sky and it's red and blue and yellow and green. It's like, holy smokes.
Like, what the hell did I sign up for?
Yeah, oh yeah. At the Sega big games, you'll see that. That's something I remember very vividly from Otter Things too. You know, that game was 300 versus 300, and in the final battle, the smoke was so thick you could barely breathe for a little bit. And then when you looked up, the sky was literally red and blue, and the game was themed after Stranger Things, the Netflix television series. And you know what? When you looked up at the sky, it had Stranger Things vibe.
See, that's the thing about scenarios that I love so much. They take the ideas from these shows or games and they just just like, let's make it real life. Let's bring it to life. And some of them fail, but some of them like succeed tremendously. And like I think you messaged me about I think it was last October about y'all having the haunted asylum when it was like something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was at PRZ. So PRZ, they called it an abandoned mental institute. That's the one we
Yeah,
were
you
talking about
specifically.
earlier. So
Yeah,
the
that.
place is haunted. It's a bit of a thing to go the day before, get out the
Mhm.
flashlight and go touring these buildings at night. It's pretty spooky. But then the final game was Asylum Horror Story, and I guess to add to the fear, there was so the staff weren't just referees. There was also staff dressed up as slashers like Scream, the Joker, uh, Leatherface. So these
Yeah.
people you'd be going through this building, clearing room to room, and all of a sudden you turn and Scream is coming at you.
Yeah, I would not survive that. I'm not gonna lie.
It was,
I'll probably be popping somebody and it's my own teammate and be like, I'm sorry, okay? I can't see and you're in the way. You were just in the
yeah,
way.
yeah.
But I play a little bit of scenarios time to time. I think I played two scenarios that it was in the South. Um, but there was one scenario that I just didn't like, and that was the Robin Hood event. And it was bad. It was pretty bad. Like basically our commander, I was on Team Robin, and he literally was not spraying everybody where we need to be at. It was more like, I want you to go here. Everybody goes this way. Everybody go this way. Like, what about this way?
Yeah.
If we don't, we've only heat. They're gonna bomb rush us, and
Yeah.
that's what happens.
I think something that's overseen with these big games is people overlook how much work it takes to get one of these big games going and to be quite successful. So, if you're a new person, you come out, you're gonna have a bit of fun, shoot a couple people, hear about a couple objectives, see some smoke grenades, you're gonna walk off the field and think, wow, what a cool day. But the work that goes in to a real even battle, so the field has to be well maintained. The objectives need to be set up well. It takes a lot of work to plan the missions by all the staff. Then you need the refs properly dispersed everywhere so the whole game is being monitored to prevent cheating and just because sometimes you got to call for a ref, like for whatever reason, you got to call for a ref to start your objective because the timer has to start for, if you say we're hacking this intel, you got to be there for 5 minutes. You need a ref there monitoring the time. So there's all that goes into it. But then finding the commanders, commanding is really something that I've started participating in a little bit, and there's a lot more to it than you'd think. I know when I'm coming to the field to operate as a commander as opposed to just play, it's a lot more stressful. You got to get up on, instead of focusing on getting yourself ready, you got to be ready to give a good speech, get everybody amped. You got to have strategy so that you don't get ran over by the other commander. And and then you gotta be able to act on the fly because sometimes the game hosts like to throw curveballs and, oh, here's a surprise mission for you that you didn't expect, and it's in behind enemy lines. Okay, now we really got to figure things out. So you got to be adaptable for sure, and
Oh yeah.
just the work that goes into these big games, it's a lot of work, but when it does come together, it pays off.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that's what people don't understand about these big scenarios and just scenario in general. Like they think, oh, it's just a bunch of this team and that team go at it. No, you got to strategize. Like especially you got to have like a walkie-talkie or somebody to let you know what's going on, so you can strategize. Of okay, this guy's going this team's more forced this way. I'm going to send force this way because they're not playing pusher on this side, or try to strategize every single hour of the day or every minute because one little slip, it only takes 1 millisecond to slip, and then boom, the whole games can change. And
Yes.
it's really, you know, it's time consuming, yes, and it's also mentality like challenging. It's like chess. I think paintball was and the woodball area is more strategizing with chess than speedball is, without a doubt. because it's just nonstop strategizing every single hour, nail biting, making sure your strategizing is getting on point, make sure everything goes well, and hopefully your comrades are not like, hurt or like, hey, they gotta go take a break, and you're like, oh, okay, I gotta send this guy. So that's backup.
Yeah, the recruiting is another hard part of it too. Paintball isn't as common of a sport as hockey,
Hockey.
football, baseball. So you got to really be on social media to be able to recruit these days.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like it's
So in
also
Ontario here, yeah, when we got a big game, say we're playing at Adrenaline, we have people driving 6 hours to get to that event.
damn. That's
That's
just
how far you got to reach.
isn't
But yep.
isn't is it hard to play paintball in Canada?
No, 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 no. There's great fields here. Really great fields. The field numbers have been in decline in the past, we'll say 5 years. Our home field used to be Cherry Lawn Paintball Challenge. It unfortunately closed down. We lost Flag Raiders, which would have been perfect because I would have lived, 20 minutes from that field. So generally, when I'm driving to one of these big games, I'm driving a minimum of an hour and 40 minutes. But the fields that are here, they're open regularly. The staff are really friendly. Like Adrenaline Paintball, I can't say enough good things about it. They'll take your hand and walk you out onto the field and show you everything from top to bottom and make it easy to get into the sport, especially for newcomers. And that's something we try to do as Extreme Bucks too. So we're a paintball club more so than a team. We have about 50 members, but we have
Oh wow.
we have three private fields. We'll say two for now because the other one's kind of up in limbo. But so what we can do is when we find people who are unfamiliar with the sport, enough of us have backup equipment that we can just say, hey, come out and try it out. So they come out to the field. It's an inexpensive way to go out and try the sport. You're in a controlled environment, and then you're with like I said, we got NXL guys, OPL guys. I'm a pretty experienced players. We take the time to teach the guys how to use bunkers properly, squaring up with it because you'll see people go up to their side and try to put their guns around. So
Or holding
we
the gun like holding a gun like a Tommy gun, and they're just like holding like this or like this, like
yeah. So we
did
try
that so
to
many times.
we try to make it easy for new people interested in the sport to get into it. That's something that the Extreme Bucks work really hard on.
Hey, I mean that's what we do as well here in and mostly in the South, because believe it or not, there is similarities between Ontario and the South, because it's like, yeah, you got the and what is it Impact, I think it's called Endymion Impact, who was the
Oh, the Edmonton Impact. They're from out west there in
yeah, I
Alberta.
mean you got them, but there's there is some similarities in the
Yeah.
South and the Canada. There's not a lot of people that mess with some people in the South, just like there's not a lot of people that mess with people in Canada. And we try to get as much new players to just play the sport and just enjoy it. And that's what here at the Paintball Lounge we try to do. Every time I try to get up on the field, I post on social media like, "Hey, you want to learn? We'll teach you," and just get people to play, especially the younger generation, because in the end, they're the next player. They're going to be the next player. They're going to be the next superstar, or they're going to be the next guy who's going to be like Nightmare Paintball or Wolf,
Yeah.
or all big YouTubers who plays Woodball. So, and we're just trying to, I think me and you both are trying to get people to play the sport more often.
Yeah, there's this guy Tonka Tactical from up north here. He's relatively popular online as well. He just commanded D-Day and won, so congratulations to him. But when he comes out to these big games, he often brings out what they call a new player award. And so they'll keep watch for somebody who's using a rental class, rental gear, a young buck, kid, and here you go. Here's your starter kit.
Shoot, there's especially young ones. There's a guy named I think he has a podcast now called Express Paintball, and he's from up north as well. He makes good videos. Highly recommend looking him up. It's called Express Paintball LLC. Really good kid, and you know he's he's ball on ball. He's trying to grow the sport as much as we are. So it's just really.
He's on YouTube there.
Yeah, he's on YouTube. That's how he found me. Believe it or not.
How to check him out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And but tell me about the Extreme Bucks. Like you said, you started as more of a club and you started to recuperate. But can you give us a little bit more details about the Extreme Bucks? Like, is it like y'all travel? Do y'all?
So, like I said, we're a club, so we're a team on and off the field. I mean, you know, the friendships that are developing on the team are pretty sweet. We will go to these big games together. We command sometimes. Sometimes we just show up to play, and oftentimes we'll have at least 15 guys show up. But then we also have our private fields where instead of just playing paintball, we can slow it down. When you get to these big games, it's okay, let's get our gear, buy our paint, set everything up. All right, now we got to go strategize with the commander. Oh, now we're on the field. It's a go, go, go day. And before you know it, everybody's piecing out and heading back home. These campouts, we're trying to get team campouts going anyways. When we go to our private field, it's more chillax and hang out with some rounds of paintball, show each other our gear. It's a lot more bonding. So it's a club on and off the field. It's an opportunity for people to come into the sport if they're new. It's an opportunity for people to get into the sport if they got out a long time and they want to return. And it's an opportunity for a new style of play for former OPL members, NXL members. We are currently putting together what we call the 10-man roster. So there's a tournament held by Adrenaline Paintball called the Ontario Classic, which is a 10-man mech. I believe there's 18 teams. So we're currently putting together our best guys. We have a coach, and we're going to be drilling and setting up to enter that next year, which is as high level of competition as the paintball gets here.
Oh yeah. 10 minutes. Yeah. I've heard 10 men and 7 men. Mech ball is like so much fun. It's so much better than playing like speedball, because even though it's 10 men and 7 men, it's kind of like speedball, but using mech guns, it just I heard it's so much better and so much relaxed, especially when you play like on Moundsfield. And so that would be interesting to see. I hope that.
Did you say on Mounds?
Yeah, on Moundsfield, there's.
Yeah, there's the Moundsfield at Adrenaline. They play the 10-man mech on the mounds.
Oh, that's so much fun. We actually here in Louisiana, there's a guy named Justin King who owns Guerrilla Warfare, and his Moundsfield was the first Mounds I played in a long time. And when I got on that Moundsfield, I'm not gonna lie, I looked like a kid in a candy store. I was in happy land. I was having so much fun. And I was in the back the whole dang time. And I'm like this. I can see you. I'm in the back. I'm getting kills. And they cannot get me. So I'm just sitting here. Anybody want a Coke?
Yeah.
But no, that's something I want to do one day, is actually play a 10-man. I actually really want to play a 10-man or 7-man one day. Mechanical, not speedball, just mechanical, because it's just so much.
I have to say, it's without even playing an OPL tournament, I'm pretty sure it's more affordable too.
It is more affordable. Even though that the let's see, I think that PB leagues, like when they do theirs, I think it's like 2,000 for entry fee per team or something like that, or a 1,200. So you splitting that with 10 people or 12, that's literally not bad at all. That's like maybe like 200 or 150 per person.
I think it's 1,000 a team for this Ontario Classic. So with 12 players, it's $80 plus tax a player.
See, that's not
you
bad.
Got 2 subs, and then preferably 3 or so pod runners, and then our coach. That's the way we're getting it set up, anyways. No, and then the first, I don't know if it's the first 3 teams, first 10 teams, but the first few teams, anyways, get 3 cases of paint free.
Oh,
First teams
really?
registered. Yeah, at this Ontario Classic. I don't know the most about it yet. Like I said, we haven't entered it yet. We're getting ready for next year. We're not going to be ready this year. We have so many new members. So last year we probably sat at about 20 members, and then all of a sudden this year we've doubled. We're exploding right now, which is nice.
Now, my question for you is this: would you consider moving the Extreme Bucks, like opening one here in the United States?
Ha! Uh, that would be an interesting thought. I wouldn't even know how to go about it at first. Um, Perhaps if we had members move down there and they wanted to continue it on, yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, I live in the South. We love our hunting, and I know a lot of people probably would just will play paintball and also get a rocking jersey because I gotta say I like if you change the colors from green to orange, done. You can't do
Oh
orange.
yeah,
Can't do orange
yeah.
because of paint. Paint is the orange color, so it's like, oh, yeah, sucks. But so let's talk about this. No snowflake paintball.
Oh no, snowflake paintball.
Oh my god. I gotta say this. Your group that says no snowflake paintball is literally the best title I have ever heard in my entire life.
Thanks, man.
I love it every single time I see it. And so, can you explain to people who don't know what snowflake paintball means so they can understand?
More or less, we made this because we got tired of people getting butthurt about posts, planking videos with no masks. Somebody whines about it. People hosting their groups, prioritizing themselves instead of focusing on new players. You call them out on it, they whine about it and kick you out, you know. So it's more or less no snowflake is a rule-free paintball group. If you're getting trolled by somebody, that's not against the rules. The only rules is no spam. That's it. Don't be spamming it. And obviously, like I had to kick a couple people out for trying to post porn and stuff because they're just being idiot. But obviously got to protect the group. But yeah, there's no rules. It's just anything and everything paintball.
Mhm.
We're about it.
Wow. And I just love how, you just got the worst snowflake. Because I use that so many times. I said this, don't be a snowflake. If you want to be a snowflake, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm
And no snowflake paintball ain't the place for them.
I'm maybe gonna find a sign, make a sign said this. If you're a snowflake, get the hell out or don't I enter. And people don't understand the term snowflake. They think of snowflake as winter. I'm like, well, think about what a snowflake is. It's fragile, it's likes the bitch, and
it melts under just a little bit of heat.
Yeah, it's like, come on, like that's like how often can I explain it to you? And then someone said, oh, a snowflake is someone liking another person. I'm not gonna say racial things because I don't want to,
That's
but
that's
I'm
weird.
like, no, it's
No.
more like this. Stop being a little bitch.
Yeah, more or less, yeah. That's what the group was about. They got tired of the little mouths all the time, so I said, okay, I'll just make one that I can look after myself. And it started off pretty slow. I actually made it a long time ago, and when I first made it, we probably got up to 100 or 200 members, and then it stayed stagnant for well over a year, maybe 2 years. And then I got this guy named Keegan Barton into the group, and Keegan does a lot to promote the sport here in Ontario. Really, really outgoing guy in the paintball community. And he came up with the idea of this cover photo vote. So at the end of the month, I put up the cover photo vote. Everybody drops in the comment feed their photos, and the most liked photo becomes the cover for the next month. And that started getting a lot of attention and got relatively competitive. The group went from 200 members to 15, 1600 pretty quick. And then what was really cool is the votes started getting sponsored. So now the winner doesn't, sometimes the winner just gets to have their photo up, but every once in a while, I mean, this next one will be the third sponsor in a row for this while. They get to win extra prizes. Barry Tactical Sports donated a JT ProFlex LE Cobalt that somebody won. Intensity Customs has donated some headband and microfiber packages. Canadian Cunts, which is a headband company. She makes killer headbands. She gave out a headband and sponsored one of the votes. You got media services like Brandon Blue Photography sponsoring the votes so people can win packages and a t-shirt. Pretty soon, No Snowflake is going to be sponsoring some of the votes because our merchandise is starting to drop.
That's what I was going to talk to you about, the merchandises. Like,
yeah, so
so tell us about the merchandises. Come on.
So the first drop is just going to be a tech tee made by Intensity Customs. It's top notch material. You can't get better. Obviously, you don't want to stick it in the dryer, but it is the material that breathes and wicks you. So it keeps you, you get sweaty. It will lick the sweat off you and evaporate it, keeping you cool and dry all day. And those shirts are going to be dropping here. I'm pretty sure the first order is already sold out.
Dang. Shoot. Bring some here.
Well, they're as soon as I get another drop in, heck yeah, they're going to be available for purchase. And if you compete in these cover photo votes, you're definitely going to have a chance to win some.
I might put this one in. Shoot. Like, might as well
That's
put that
pretty
one
sick.
in.
Maybe one of those titles too, eh?
And I knew. Yeah, my baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's pretty sweet. Hold it up. I want to see it a little better.
There you go. Here.
Yeah. Yeah. You show up to the field with that, right?
Actually, the thing about it is that we're trying to host a tournament, a speedball tournament, 1v1 style, to make it fun. We did the beta, and beta went really good. It's just that people did say, "Oh, I'm going to show up," but they didn't show up, and kind of messed up the whole scheduling. It was like one of those, but that's what beta's for, to snuff out all the bad things, and then when it comes to the actual tournament, we'll do better. So this first one that we're trying to get people to sign up is going to be next month, known as Summer Brawl. And the funny thing about that
Summer Brawl, that's sick.
Yeah, because
is that what your reel was about today with the Motorhead tune over it? Okay, I know. Okay.
Yep, because I was here in Texas. Well, in Texas they're having UXBL, and I did not know about that. I did not know it was that this weekend, so people were not going to sign up because they're going to get tired, and especially playing in Dallas, it gets blistering hot, and to where the turf will melt your cleats.
Holy moly!
Oh yeah, it gets pretty hot. It's pretty miserable, especially because in the South, the humidity kills it.
Oh, and you're wearing all that gear, and oh man, there's nothing worse than that sweat dripping in your eye, man. That stings.
That's why I have I'm not sponsored by them, but I bought it. It's called the G1 beanie, and because I like wearing beanies, it protects my head and everything because I always get shot in the freaking forehead. It gives me a headache. I'm like, ugh. Okay. So the G1 beanie has a double layer of terracloth inside the beanie. So it also has that sticky tack in front of it. That way, when you put your headband over it, it doesn't slip off when you take off your mask. And I love it. I love it. And it keeps the sweat coming in my mask and in my eyes. And it's just the
Hormesis and Primal headbands have that sweatband strip in it too, right? I'm pretty sure.
So I never
I have the now that I think about it, I started wearing headbands last year. I started with the Primal. I grabbed a Canadian Cut. Now I have a Hormesis as well. And since starting to wear these headbands, I don't think I get the sweat in the eye now that I think about it.
I never owned a Hormesis.
Not nearly as bad, anyways.
I never got a Hormesis, and it was never a gift. I never bought one, which kind of sucked because I really want one. Like I really
Yeah.
want one, but they're like,
I got
150.
lucky. Kirk Slater on the team. He won a Hormesis headband at one of the events last year, and he held on to it. And then at the first event this year, he said, "Drew, I'm not ever gonna wear this, and I'd like to give it to somebody who's gonna wear it." And I just looked at him and said, "I'll wear it. I'll take the Hormesis off your hands."
See, that's the
So shout out Kirk Slater for the Hormesis headband, buddy. I appreciate it a lot.
See, that's the two things I really want is a Hormesis headband and a company known as I Hate Paintball. Shout out to them, Joey and Nick. They actually handmade their headbands. Like they actually stitch it, embroider it, all the whole 9 yards. And I would love to have those two brands of headbands so I can wear it every single time because I've heard so much reviews about it and I heard nothing but great reviews. And I personally have so many headbands, but they are just like, it feels like a cheap knockoff, especially HK. We all know that HK Army likes to do a cheap knockoff of something. It's true.
I use the HK Army. I use the HK Army head wrap. The head wrap.
Yeah. That's a good. I mean, I like the head wrap as well because I have the Infamous one, and I like how it's Velcro, and that way keep me breathing a little bit, but the sweat still gets in my eyes.
Oh yeah. So I got the head wrap going, and then the headband, and I rock some Dye i4s right now. I think I'd like to upgrade to a Dye i5 one day, but
I actually have a the carbon mask, the Pro Zero with the 2 lenses. And
do you find that it bounces balls half decently? I heard that it has a good bounce rating.
It does. The mask? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
And I like the mask. I actually a buddy of mine who does the dyeing, like who personally dyes the mask, he just dyed my mask from white to blue. And that's why I wanted it. I didn't want a gray blue.
Did
mask.
Did he hydro dip it?
It was more like Rite. No, it was not hydro dip. He did Rite, RIT dye, where he just did. I guess he was hydro dipping. I do not know. I don't do that.
You're not a dipper, are you?
No, but I've seen him done it before.
Me neither.
With JT masks and everything, and no one had a single problem with it. So it was like, might as well give it a try.
Heck yeah.
So, but back to what I was saying about this. So the first what we're going to do when we get people to play is that the winner holds his belt. And then the next event that we're going to probably do is in October. And I already got a theme known as Hollow's Night, if you get that what I'm drifting.
What is it?
Hollow's Night.
Hollow's Night?
Mm-hmm. October.
No. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it was something like that. I had to pick something. I can't do a Hallow's Eve. So.
Yeah, and you might get people, dressing up and, getting in the spirit for it too. I know there's some people that are pretty good for these theme games. I've never been too good. I don't bother getting dressed up for the themes, but Paul Ruddick, oh man, the outfits this guy pulls off, or Cliff Meyer. Yeah, there's a number of guys who go all out dressing up for these themed games.
Oh, I know. Let's see. There's a guy in Virginia named Save the Paint, and he does these games. Like he plays big games and stuff like that. He dressed up like Fortnite, like it was not Fortnite. Bowser's shell on his head, and he has a Fortnite clipper, and he's just going around and tagging people like "You're out, you're out." And I'm like, how can you do this? Like, I can't do that. Like, what the hell?
There's this guy who's got like the inflatable hammer or something like that he hits people with, and he's pretty big on. I've seen his videos go around, and he'll light up 10 people before he gets hit.
See, that's the thing about scenarios. That's what I was just saying earlier. I love scenarios because you can do whatever you want within reason.
Yep. Yep.
But
Pull out the sword and the knife, or use some smoke grenades, paint grenades. So there's this one. I got a few OGs on the team, some guys who have been around the sport for a long time, and I didn't even know that this existed. But before Georgina, buddy's like, "Hey, can I bring out my tripwire?" Tripwire? What are you talking about? Tripwire? He's like,
oh
oh
god,
yeah, I got this tripwire. And he shows me it, and I'm going, holy cow, I didn't even know that was a thing. And he goes, yeah, it's actually pretty tricky to place. I've become kind of an expert. So you'll be in the middle of playing paintball, and you got to hold down this area, and this guy will go crawling up along the ground through the grass and hide in the grass and set up a freaking tripwire.
no, dude, like, no, this is what's gonna happen if I touch that tripwire. This is what exactly is gonna happen. That's exactly what's gonna happen. Every time.
And you're going to either get hit with liquid paint or baby powder, apparently.
I'm going like this, walking back to the station area. Everybody, probably my girlfriend or somebody, be like this. What the hell happened to you? Don't freaking ask.
Yeah.
Here I am
Yeah,
in the
all
bathroom,
over your pants.
probably in my drawers and everything. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. I don't know how much noise it makes. I watched a YouTube video, but I can't really remember it all that great right now off the top of my head. But this guy always pulls out some really cool stuff like that. And when you get things like the tripwire, then you got to go to the game hosts and get permission. You get the launchers too, the rocket launchers in these games. But it's always, I think it's a pain in the butt right now trying to source rockets for them.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Like it's just like a Nerf rocket.
yeah, it's hard to, like, in the woods ball industry or paintball industry to think of something different for the woods ball, because we all know about paintball markers always updating and upgrading and everything, but not like the way we think of. Like, I gotta give credit where credit's due. Whoever invented the bow and arrow of paintball, I gotta give credit where credit's
It's
due.
pretty sick.
Whoever invented that, I tip my hat to that person, because I saw even a female, or on, like I said, Baker's girlfriend, Smurfette. That's all she used. She used the playing clips or the bow and arrow. And when you see her shooting that bow and arrow, she's like dead on accurate with them. Like, holy fucking shit! Like she's a small petite girl, and she can shoot accurate with the paintball that she got bow and arrow. That's somebody you don't want to mess with.
Yeah, I don't even know how you that, like, it's probably got a max feet per second or something on it, because you can't imagine like having a chrono it, or how that would even go about, because I know you can't bring it's not commonly allowed anyways, but I don't think slingshots are really allowed, because you could shoot too high of a velocity, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, yeah. I mean, and it's just like nowadays, like with all the new upgrades that these companies are coming out with, everybody's going like bananas. Now, since HK came out with that full auto valve, I could see somebody just getting a die damn magazine, put it underneath the a playing clips, shit. I can't speak right now. EMAC.
Yeah.
With bipod, and just stay on the back of it with a freaking 80 tank and just going all crazy. It's just crazy.
Yeah, we got a guy with the die dam, and he's got the box rotor. I'm pretty sure he spent more on the box rotor than he did the die dam.
Oh yeah. Nightmare PB.
He got the die dam used though.
I don't know if you're familiar with Nightmare PB.
I've had a few conversations with him. Yep. I was trying to get him to come out and play with me at Georgina there at the beginning of the year for Canadian Infection, but I guess he couldn't make it.
I want to meet that guy so bad. He's like one of my favorite guy, other than you. He's one of my favorites that I like, seeing playing on his channel and everything. I respect what he does for living and everything, but seeing him like just going at it, especially when he met Wolf. That time when he met Wolf, he's like, "Hi, Wolf." It's just like, get in the candy store.
Wolf's got a lot of haters, eh? I've bumped into Wolf on the paintball field, and it was funny because a lot of people say he just sits at the back yelling at everybody. But the one time I played with him at Wasaga for the big game, him and I moved up to this chopper, and it was messed up. Like it was more or less him and I right on the front against Lord knows how many guys. And when we were looking around, nobody on our team was around us, and it was intense. And we gave it hell. We both got destroyed, but he gets up there and he gives it hell. He's given it his all most of the time, and the stuff that he shares on his channel, when we were talking about the European games over there, he went over to Germany recently and they had full on tanks involved, and just him going over there and exposing us to that was a treat. I like you said, I had no clue that they went that hard in Germany.
Oh yeah, without doubt. Europe is always going hard on paintball, like Blitzball style and everything, because they have all this resource, all this land. Why the hell not? Shoot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Sweden has it like super games in Sweden. What the fuck? Like, you see a video.
I know South Africa has a lot going on too. South Africa.
Oh.
I got this guy on my Facebook named Leon West. Everybody I got on my Facebook is paintballing somewhere in the world, but this guy Leon West has posted up quite a bit, and the games that they have going on over there are complete 110 military simulations, and they look intense and like a really good time.
Dang, that might be a bucket list. Shit, that might be a real big bucket list.
You got some good paintball down there in the States, though. Do you ever go to Florida to paintball? When I was a kid, they used to have a big game in the swamps that was all weekend. You had to like literally sleep in a bunker and have people outside watching and stuff like that.
Unfortunately, I have not traveled that much. Only places I've gone to is Mississippi and here in Louisiana so far. I know that in Pennsylvania, it's called Scrimmage Paintball. That's the place you want to go to when you like big events. That's the place you want to go to because they do like that Invasion of Normandy, and that's when you're like cramped in like those tight boats, metal boats.
Yeah.
And you're like so cramped, and you're just hoping I don't shoot somebody's foot or someone don't shoot me because that's how cramped you were back in World War II. It's like cramped metal boat, and you're just on the other side where the I think it was I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but Nazis or the Allies, they're like ready for you. So you're like, it's crazy there. It's so much crazy during an event because you got thousands, maybe 10,000 paintballs just going at it. And you don't have no riot shield or anything like that.
10,000.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. I've heard Fulda Gap is pretty crazy in Carolina as well.
See, I want to do that. I do want to like sooner or later I will I'm not gonna anytime soon. Like right now, I will retire from the speedball industry. I mean, I love playing speedball, don't get me wrong, all the people I met and everything, but there's gonna be a time where I'm gonna be like, okay, I might just stick to Blitzball and just go travel and go play scenarios or different areas. Just give it a try.
So I can't even speak from experience because I haven't played OPL. I've never actually played the competitive. I've played speedball. I've played speedball in speedball fields against speedballers, but I've never played in a competitive tournament, which, I kind of would like to experience that. But from what the guys on my team, so I had a guy who played on Canadian Grizzlies. I had guys who are medalists in OPL, which is the speedball league here in Ontario. They all reach the same agreement that what we do is more fun. I'm not saying that that's the truth, but they say that these scenario games are much more fun.
I'm not trying to hate on speedball either, but in my defense, it is more fun with scenario than it's with speedball because in speedball, especially here with the NXL and everything, there's so much rules and regulations. Like
Well, and they're short games. You're 5 minutes games. You do your run, and then you're done for a little bit. These scenario games. So the next one we're in, Global Two, it's 3 2-hour sessions. So you're on the field for a total of 6 hours, 2 hours at a time, and gosh, the game can go in so many directions in that 2 hours. And when you get hit, you're not done. You can either get a medic or you take the hike back to your spawn, you respawn, and then you're back out in the action again. And you get a lot of different exposure in these big games too. Like when I was talking about first strikes there, you got people who are literally in the role of a sniper, right? So it's a lot more dynamic than two teams 5-on-5 intense get each other out as fast as possible.
Yeah,
It's completely different.
it is completely different. And honestly, to me, like I'm actually starting to like love more scenarios than I am with speedball. But there is something I will do like to announce is that here in Slidell, Louisiana, the owner Drew Bankson, shout out to you, Drew, at LAX Paintball, that little thing right there that looks like GI Joe. They're doing True Blood, a True Blood event from the show.
Tell me more.
So this, I don't know all the details yet because this is going to be in November. This is going to be in November. The True Blood event is going to be in November, and so far I haven't heard any more information. I just got a message, I think it was a couple months ago, from the Blue Commander or the captain, however you want to say it. He asked me, "Hey, you want to play for me?" Hell yeah, it's True Blood. I'm not a fan of the show, but it's at my home field, my hometown. Why the hell not?
Heck
And
yeah.
I mean, I've seen LAX's Woodball field, and they have redone it from what it was back then.
So did he ask you to? He just asked you to play,
Yeah, he asked me to play for his team,
and it's he's commanding.
Mhm.
Oh man, you should try and get a commanding gig sometime, or even get in as an XO.
Oh, trust me, I want to. That is another thing on my bucket list is like play a scenario, but play as commander. I mean, but this True Blood event that's coming up, I am excited for. I'm really am excited for this, but I'm also scared because if you looked at all my videos on the Paintball Lounge and they're at LEX, the rec ball field is kind of small. It's kind of small.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully by the time it gets into October and November, the owner will like expand it a little bit more to where that it will be more fun because like I love playing scenarios. At times I do. Yeah, times I do. It depends on the scenario and where is it at and what's the theme of it. And I was just when I saw this, I was like, what the fuck? Yes, let's do this. Like, yeah, I'm playing. I don't care. I'm my mindset was already in there. I'm like, I'm playing this, and I will.
You know what? Too, we like these big games. They need skilled, experienced players. It's the players that shape the game. And when you got all these high-level competitive players smashing the fronts in these big games, it takes the intensity of the big game up like 10 levels, right? If you got two teams that are kind of just throwing paint at each other, they're kind of picking off objectives, it's fun. When you got two teams that are bunkering each other and fighting their asses off for the fronts and to push the lines forward, man, the intensity gets going. And it really gets going because, speedball is intense, 5v5. Now imagine 100 speedballers versus 100 speedballers bunkering each other and freaking hosing, like
Oh,
it
without
gets
doubt.
freaking crazy. You'll be hiding by a skid, and it will be getting hit by so much paint. You'll see the skid start to disintegrate.
And that's another thing. Like I agree with you 100%. Like these big games need to have like experienced players who've been playing the speed, like play both sides of the world of paintball, but have a little bit more experience with the commanding side of woodsball than speedball, because that's what our commander was in the Robin Hood event. He was a speedballer, never commanded a woodsball event before,
No
So,
offense to them, but they'll get eaten up by an experienced
oh,
scenario
we
commander.
did. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We did. The friend of mine who was the other commander, known as King John, he tore us up. Literally tore us up without a doubt. I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. Like, that was when, okay, I'm packing up and going because there's no point in staying. There was literally no point in staying. For me to
There's
say
some
that,
pretty experienced. There's some experienced commanders here in Ontario. And the big problem with going up against them is even if you're a skilled, experienced commander and you're going to bring the heat, these guys have already been doing it for so long that they just jump onto their Facebook Messenger and they have a group chat with all the teams, team owners in it. And they'll just be like, hey, I'm commanding this event. And everybody will just show up to play for them. So there's a few set commanders who are you can't beat right now in Ontario, which is something that we as Extreme Bucks would like to change. I'm not one of those commanders that are unbeatable. I'm not. I just got smoked at the first event this year by one of the unbeatable commanders. So we're trying to get Extreme Bucks so big that we can show up with just the Bucks and not a pile of other teams and be able to run over, a solid commander. We're working hard to try to get that to happen. There needs to be a little bit of balance in the community, and right now the community is a little bit unbalanced. There are definitely commanders with all the teams in their pockets.
See, that's another thing that I talked about in the last episode of the Paintball Lounge is that, people here, or I'm going to say this, a lot of people said this, what can we change to change paintball? What can change paintball in general? And I said a buddy of mine, Drew Banks, said this, change the culture. Like, don't change the culture. That's how you get people to play more. You should change the culture. And it's just like what you just said, like, trying to change the commanding. And that's the goal that the Extreme Bucks wants to do. That's the goal that the Paintball Lounge wants to do, is to change the culture of paintball to where everybody can come in, have a great time, and make memories with friends and family.
Yeah. Yep. It's important to get the children out, especially.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Because then they go to school and they tell everybody at school, and then everybody else is interested in coming to play. And I was one of the ones that weren't playing early in school, but I heard my friends talking about it a lot. And I'd say everything added up to where we're at now, to me being on this podcast, man, which has been a pleasure, by the way. Thank you very much for having me today. It's been a blast.
It's been a blast for me as well. Now this time I'm gonna be on the hot seat. So if you got any questions, go ahead and lay on me.
How long has this podcast been running for? I know it was going last year, and I think you took a little bit of a break for a little bit.
Yeah, I did. So this podcast started in 2022, about 2022, yeah. And it's been going on for 2 years solid. And I'm not gonna lie, it had some moments, some ups and some downs. And one of the major downs was that we were trying to be monetized by hey, YouTube monetize us and everything, but YouTube is like no, because you're reusing content. Because I did not know, that's the thing, I did not know about the monetizing about YouTube. So I got slapped in the face. Shame on me, though. But ever since then, it's been hard for me to be monetized. So that's why, the podcast is not, I'm not getting paid. I don't get paid to do this podcast. This is coming out of my own pocket. But I wouldn't change it for anything because I love what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. And honestly, to be honest with you, I did not know I was going to do this. This was never planned at all.
Well, congrats. Who made your title?
Believe it or not, I did.
You made that?
Yep, I did.
I'd say you did a pretty bang up job, man.
The funny thing about the title, I'm glad you asked the title, because a lot of people ask me, like, what made you say the Paintball Lounge? So the thing is about it was that I was literally just sitting down just like this and drinking. I was drinking whiskey. I was drinking Jack Daniel's whiskey, and I was
Cheers.
like, I gotta drink water, so it's hot. My AC went out, so I gotta drink water so I can stay hydrated. So I was just chilling right there, and I'm like, what can I do for a podcast? Like, what can I, what's the title? And I went through so many lists that, oh my god, the list, it was horrible.
The paintball lounge is pretty sick, but when I asked about who made your title, I actually meant the belt that's sitting over your shoulder.
Oh, this? Oh,
Yeah, I knew you made the paintball lounge.
so
Who made that?
the company known as Trophy Smack, they're the ones who made the title. I came up with the design of the Fort Elite logo, and the color scheme. And Trophy Smack does gold tiles, but they also do silver. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? I'm tired of looking at gold. Like, I've seen so many titles that people give out, and it's always gold. Let's try something different. So that's why we went with the silver and black, because it actually looks so much better with the silver than it did with the gold. Because when they show me the gold and they actually let you display before you buy it what it's going to look like, the gold right here, all this gold right here, was going to look horrible. It was like, that looked ugly. But that's why we went with the silver, and now this thing looks, I love it. But it's time to give it to somebody who wins it a new home. I mean, it sucks, but hey, I'm trying to grow the community, give people to look forward to every day.
Yeah.
Yep. Any more questions? Lay on me.
I don't think so.
All right. So we got some lightning questions that I'd like to do. It's just simple ones. So, what marker are you rocking with?
I rock a 1 of 10 tribute Earth camo Lux X.
Okay, so you're Lux guy.
I'm a Lux guy, yeah, and then I got a second Lux X for backup. Of the first one, the Anno is 1 of 10. It's the tribute Earth camo. There's only 9 others like it.
Are you thinking about upgrading it to a Lux idol?
No, I'm gonna stay with my Lux X because I got a second one. The parts are interchangeable. I'm set. You know, for what I play with these big games and everything, the Lux X suffices. And if I switch up to the idol, one of my markers, then I'm gonna have 2 different threads because I believe that Lux switched from the Smart Parts Ion thread over to the AC thread. What about you? What are you rocking?
Planet Eclipse CS3.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of my teammates are Planet Eclipse fans.
Well, the only reason why is because I don't like Lux, to be exact. It's because of the fact they break easily. They're kind of like Tesla. They're kind of like the Tesla, and it's just not my style. And
well, the service team is a lot better with PE, from what I've heard. You can just go onto the Facebook group, and they get back to you really fast.
Oh yeah, without doubt. Without a doubt,
Yeah.
They do. Okay, so what mask are you rocking with?
I got 3 different dye I4s.
That's right, you were doing Diaphragm.
I got the Rasta, the black and gold, and the black and blue. What do you wear?
The Carbon. And I also have a CMD as my backup.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have the Bunker King CMD. That was my first mask. Coming back into the sport, that was actually my first mask coming back to the sport after the whole COVID thing was the Virtue Ascend, and then I went from a CMD, and now I went to a Carbon.
Those Ascends are nice. The Virtue, yeah, they're nice.
Oh yeah, they're I think they're like $100 now, or cheaper than that, but they're still so good.
Yeah, they're affordable. Yeah.
Oh, without doubt. I mean, I cannot do JT. I mean, I know a lot of people like the JT mask. I just can't do it.
I'm not a big guy, so the dye is a nice slim mask. It's good.
Mhm.
If I was to wear that ProFlex, honestly, I'd just be a bigger target.
That's another thing. It's just that, you know, another thing about JT that a lot of people don't like probably agree with me is just the interchangeable lens of the JT is a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass, all right.
It's pretty easy to pop the lens in and out of my i4s. I
The
gotta say,
I
I do like my i4s.
keep the i4, just upgrade with the ratchet strap, just upgrade to that. Don't change it to the i5. I had an i5 and the little plastic things to change the lens. I had to literally took a knife like from a survival kit and to push it down and pull it out. That way I can get the lens out. It was a pain in the ass.
Damn, that
So
sounds like a pain in the ass, man.
yeah, that's why I like my carbon. My carbon is like twist, pull, push. That was it. Okay, so what tank are you using?
I have a Ninja Light 6845. I just have the blue one. It's not the super light, just the Ninja Light.
Right, just basic one, which is fine. That's a
Yeah.
great tank. Great tank. I got the new JT tank, the Ultra Light Silk, whatever it's called. Man,
Yeah.
I love it. The 80, it's the 80 tank, and I like to use 80s. I
Well, you
love
got the 80 CI, eh? Yeah, I got to touch one of the 80 CIs just recently. My buddy gave it to me to use, and I don't know what was going on. He had an LPR on it, and we hooked it up to one of the CS3s. We have like there's such a huge amount of gear on the team, and we got like this guy who's like a gear hoarder. So he's got everything. He's got infamous LV. He's got the infamous CS2. He's got another CS2. He's got another CS2. Oh, he's got the CS3. He's got a couple Luxes. He's got this guy's got
Hey, he
everything.
has a lot of money
And
then.
oh gosh, but he handed me the 80 CI tank. God, they
Dude,
last a while, eh?
those JT, the new ones, man, there's a lie as hell, and they're good. It's just, whoa. I love it.
Yeah.
And I never thought I would love another tank. But I love the one I have. I really
How long
do.
does a hydro last on an 80 CI? Does it last 5 years?
Yeah, all of them. They all last 5
Nice.
years. I think,
Nice.
I don't know if it's true. I think it's, who is it, First Strike or Immortal that actually don't last 5 years. I think they last a little bit longer. I'm not quite sure. I've heard rumors
We keep
about that.
we keep scuba tanks handy on our team too. We got like between all of our team members, we got like 10 scubas ready. But that's that's our air supply at our private fields. And
Right.
when we go to play global here, one of the rounds we're going to be defending the castle. And for the round that you're defending the castle, you don't want to leave the field to go to the barracks because you're leaving your team shorthanded. The defending, you can't let anybody get into the castle, period. So we'll bring the scubas out. So we'll bring the scubas and all of our paint so we don't have to leave. We can just stay there.
Okay, so what is the biggest pet peeve in paintball that you can name of that you can't stand?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would say barrel bags not being used properly. I would not. I don't care to see somebody lose an eye. And when we're at our private field, I'm anal. I'm making sure everybody has their barrel bags on. I'm scanning everybody's markers. Now my team's pretty good. We don't really need to worry about it. But at the fields, same thing. It's the barrel bags. I like seeing people have their barrel bags on when they come off the field, especially with freaking electronic markers, because you so much as shake the thing and it just pop.
Oh, trust me. I was working on the field, and I actually help the owners and the rest when they say, "Hey, that's game." I even yelled at someone so many times, "Put your barrel condom back the motherfucking on."
Did you ever watch that movie Bobby Duke's Blackballed? Bobby
Oh
Duke's
yeah,
story? Oh man, before they're even walking off the field, as soon as they're hit, the refs barrel plug in. At
Sometimes I
least they
want.
had that. That was good. I was glad they had that in that movie.
Honestly, to me, I don't know why people don't listen to the refs. I mean, I know they're having a great time and everything, but I'm at the point where I'm like, you don't listen to the ref. I'm gonna let you just shoot somebody's eye out, and guess what? Your tank and your gun and everything's gonna be gone.
Yeah, I actually got to change my pet peeve. My biggest pet peeve is in movies. Hollywood movies when they incorporate paintball into the movies, and then they got people lifting their masks on the field and just promoting all sorts of really bad habits. That's actually my biggest pet peeve.
Okay, okay. So I know that was a lighting question, and usually we end it on that part. But let me tell you this. I want to tell you this. Since you brought up about Hollywood, I have to agree with you on that pet peeve. The biggest aggravation that people don't understand from Hollywood video games and paintball is not the same freaking thing. Like I cringe of how many times people say, "Oh, I'm like Fortnite or Call of Duty." I'm like, it's not the same. No, like
Yeah.
I I was at I think I was at LEX or Paper Republic one time, and I think I heard some guy saying this, hey, are you good? And the other guy's like saying, yeah, man, I
Yeah, I play
proceed.
Call of Duty, man.
Play Call of Duty, and I proceed. I got like 20 kills and 0 deaths and all that. I'm like in my
No, this is
inner head,
paintball.
but in my ear, I was on the opposite side. So I'm like in my ear head, and I was in a couple of guys who were just rentals. I said this, hey guys, let me tell you something. Do not shoot that cocky SOB. Let me shoot him. So I do this. This is why I had the CS2 Pro. So I'm like putting my settings on rampant and putting a 10.2 because I want to be legal. And I'm like this. I'm like, okay, where is he? I see him and I'm just going at it. I'm shooting this motherfucker with like 10 balls per second. His back is splattered with paint and everything. And he's looking at me all mad and like freaking cursing me out. And I said this. Next time, don't be a cocky SOB. Paintball's not like Call of Duty now, is it?
No, paintball's not like Call of
He
Duty.
learned his lesson so bad. I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
But yeah, Call of Duty or anything that you see from a hand controller or the TV or anything like that, don't have a mindset about that because it's just not gonna happen.
No, it's completely different.
A whole different area, like a reality. But I think we actually passed our marker. It's been an hour, 18 minutes, and I just had a great time. I hope you had a great time, my friend.
Of course, man. It was a blast to be here. I appreciate you having me on the show, man.
And I appreciate you coming on the show finally. If y'all have not, follow Extreme Bucks and No Snowflake Paintball. And if y'all in Canada, hit him up. Talk to him.
Yeah,
Play with him.
jump
Let's play paintball.
jump in the No Snowflake paintball group. It doesn't even have to be your own paintball photo. Find the best paintball photo you can. Enter it in the competition. You have a chance to win free shit all the time.
I will actually put my like probably on there. I might. But
Win one of my shirts.
I hope I do. I hope I do. If I do, I will be rocking that around the whole field. I love my jersey. Don't get me wrong. I love the Paintball Lounge jersey, but I like to have something with me in case I want to wear something else.
Yeah, and it's good jersey material too. You can use it for paintball. So,
but all right, my friend. I'll see you in the round. Take care. And I hope those your merchandise drop, and I hope that you play more paintball.
You too, man.
All right, see you around.
Cheers.
All right, y'all. That was Drew from No Snowflake Paintball, as well as the founder of Extreme Bucks. I had a great time talking to him, and that's the thing about paintball, is global. Paintball is everywhere around the world, and we're just trying to get people to play more about the sport and everything, even though the sport will never become an Olympic sport, unfortunately. But we do the best we can. We do the best we can, and I hope y'all enjoyed this episode as much as I did. And I'll see y'all in the next episode. And remember, paintball is not just a sport, it is family. See y'all in the next episode.